4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. We're here at 10 at 10. I'm talking. This is my first live interview over the internet on Hangouts. Heaven help us. I hope it works. I'm talking with Keith Lawson, the founder of The Market Builder, which is a all-encompassing printing company that'll print your stuff and help you do with social media and creative and lists and just really help you do a lot of comprehensive stuff. Is that fair?
That's fair. That sounds good to me.
Okay. So, Keith, it used to be fun to ask people how they got started in direct marketing. When we met, you were kind of an IT guy, or
yes.
Operations.
Operations, having to do with IT and production equipment in the printing business.
Okay, well, you've been at it a while now. What's been the most rewarding?
Just watching the businesses and the nonprofits that we work with grow, growing their markets where we can actually help them and we can measure it, track it, and show it to them. And they appreciate that.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned over the years?
Oh, probably that creative and data has to go hand in hand. You can have the best list in the world that you're mailing to, and if the creative is bad, you're not going to get the results. And the other way around, it doesn't work either. So the two of them have to work together.
Yeah, you got to get all the pieces. Right. Okay. So this week we're talking about working with creatives. So when I met you, you were working at a publishing company. And did you ever have trouble getting the artwork in time for the deadlines or any of that?
Yes, the deadlines always was an issue. It was religious publishing, so I had to deal with a bunch of priests and ministers, and they really were on their own time frame. So consequently, it was a little bit difficult to get across to them that they had to get things done quickly.
Okay, and what did you do to prod them along without breaking their spirit? Well,
that's a good question. Probably trying to join it together as to let's get those results, get your message out, and that seemed to be the best.
Of course, then you were mostly just printing stuff that didn't have to generate sales, right?
Some of it was that, yeah, and then the other stuff was to get the sale to sell the publication.
Right.
And that was probably the hardest one because that's where the art department would come in and try and get things done to make it look pretty.
Uh-huh. Okay. But have you ever gotten pushback from the creatives, the graphic designers and photographers and all that about how they wanted to make it look better or look different, and they didn't really want to listen to the marketing side of things?
Yeah, well, usually you ask them to do something from a marketing and data standpoint because of the audience you're going to, maybe the culture or the language or the age, and they don't quite get it that this particular picture or this particular art is going to be appealing to that age or demographic.
Okay, and, wait, let's slow down. That's a good point. Okay, so you might be hiring an intern or something to do the layout, or Fiverr these days or something, and they're young and vibrant, and you're trying to talk to 80-year-olds or something. Oh, we lost him. I did some creative review for the Billy Graham Association long ago, and I evaluated their annuity advertising. And they had all different kinds of headlines, and we found the best ones, and we looked at the number of leads that were generated and stuff. But the number one factor we found was really interesting. the number one factor we found was if the type was 8-point or less, if it was fine print, they basically got no leads at all, 0. And so we explained to them that while the designers could read 8-point type, the nice little old ladies who had lots of money couldn't. And they had to get it set in 10-point type, which they didn't like. But it was a huge breakthrough, and they really liked the work that we did. That was a Billy Graham associate. I don't know if you heard it, but
Yep.
I did a review of their annuity ads for several years. And evaluating what factors in the ads generated the most leads, and it turned out that fine point type was the one thing that just killed it.
Yeah.
It's simple.
And reverse type as well.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
Now it may look pretty, but it's difficult to read when you reach a certain age. Usually around 40 when glasses change. And
I don't know anything about glasses. Okay, so that's a really good one, and a really common one is where the artist can and who is sitting in front of it. I see billboards often that have all kinds of stuff on them, and I can't get what they're doing, but I'm sure somebody sat at their desk, looking at the piece and saying, "Oh yeah, look, we got all this. Yeah, it's really good information." I feel like the only way to test a billboard is go like this with it. Okay, what's it about? You get 1 second, and nobody seems to do that, or a lot of people don't do it. But those kinds of things, I feel like we have to communicate to the creatives to get them a little bit beyond their own head, if you will.
Yeah, it has to be very simple and yet eye-catchy. And it's like, yeah, did you see my name? Yes, I saw your name, but that's all I saw. And to me, that was important. Right.
Okay, so what you have some artists working for you. What have you done to try to move them to have a little bigger picture of what we're trying to get across to the audience and how we're trying to make some money and that sort of thing? What steps have you taken?
We have probably history is the best one, is to pull out previous work that we've done for other people and show them as to what's going on and what has worked.
Right. That's always really good to show them what it was at one point and how you tested it and came back with improved results. That's really the way I've done most of that education, and explain to them that, I'm going to tell them what product gets more space. I'm going to tell them how much copy that, and then just like the Mona Lisa, which is a very small little painting, you can still do great work in on a small canvas or a large one or whatever. But as the artist, your job is to make it as unugly as we can and still sell something.
Right. Get the results.
So what 2 or 3 tips do you have for us working with creatives, especially as we get more and more data oriented?
Well,
to keep them from killing themselves.
Okay, well, the creative has to realize that they've got to design for the product and the audience in jointly, not just the product and not just for the audience. And keep things simple and easy.
Okay. So simplicity is a big one. We can flash it, and say, okay, what do you see? You get 1 second. And I had a client tell me that I had the ability to think in the uncluttered mind of a child.
Wow.
And they meant it as a compliment. But I said, you just got to understand, most people are busy. It's not that they're stupid and that they couldn't figure out what you want, but the more of those hurdles you put up, the lower your response is going to be, because people just don't have time to figure things out.
Oh, we get hit with 7,000 or 8,000 bits of information each day compared to 10 years ago where it might have been 1,500 or 2,000. And that's why it has to be quick, easy, and simple.
Okay. And every now and then I've actually tested their ideas, put it in the mail, and show them how it doesn't work. Try to do it not a 50-50 split, but just like a 5-95.
Sure. Just to see the difference.
Just to, because you don't have to really beat them over the head with it when you've got testing. Okay, my alarm is going off. Keith just left the building. I'm John Miglosh. Hit like and share. Likes don't do much. Share it with your audience if you think it was thought-provoking. Get them to think along with you.